I leave one thing for that time then, because I have a funny thing to say.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now. Mariangela Demurtas is obviously known as the singer of TRISTANIA, but she has been working on solo material for a long time, and she's released some of that music already to her Patreons, and she has now been working on her debut solo EP, which is gonna come out real soon, and I had a chance to sit down with Mariangela to learn all about it. Okay, so Mariangela, thank you so much for talking to me on a Sunday. I know that you are busy. A lot of things are going on. You have a big smile on your face. There's a lot of exciting stuff to talk about to you today.
Right, yeah.
We have your EP coming, but also very recently a first music video was released. A lot of imagery, a lot of interesting things in the lyrics that we can dive into. But first, let's just give you the easiest question of all. How excited are you about all this music finally coming out right now?
Well, I'm very, very excited about this because it's been time that I've been working on music a lot since always. But I always did it with my bands mainly, and I wrote my stuff on the side.
Yeah.
And I never knew when was the time to come out with that because I was busy with my band. So, but there was a day that I said, no, this is an urge. I have to express myself also on my only way, on my way. Mm-hmm. It's something that I felt since I was a kid, that I had this need. But since I wasn't a one-man band, I couldn't do that. And also because sometimes my way of writing, it doesn't really match with the projects I'm in. For instance, my metal bands and the stuff I've been working on. But it's also true that I had now so many years of experience that I touched any kind of genre, and I developed a lot of skills in many different musical genres. So I was confused, and I said, okay, where do I want to go with my music? Do I want to sound rock? Do I want to sound metal? Do I want to sound just myself? And in the beginning, I thought, okay, let's do this thing like a simple guitar and Mary singing. And I tried that with my first solo album that actually I wrote from the 2008 to 2013, and then I recorded, I think, right after 2013. I never felt in the end very, very satisfied with that because I thought there's something still missing. My voice is not really, that kind of thing that you feel like, oh, she's taking me there.
Right.
I wanted that. And I had to still work on myself a bit more for being less worried with the production and all that kind of stuff that I learned in the years and I've been practicing in studio, So I thought, okay, let yourself go. And now you write songs that really come from the heart. Life wanted me to have this kind of experience this year that has designed me a lot, marked me a lot. And then I really had to be very honest with my music. And that's why I wrote this EP. And it sounded exactly like I wanted to.
City, oh city, you look like trouble tonight.
Is that an element that adds to that anxiety of, oh, do I release it or not? Because it really is, it's me now. It's not, you can't hide behind a band. How is that feeling for you? Because you've been in so many projects and so many bands. This must be quite a new experience for you, or a new feeling.
Yeah, the thing is, I always felt like I could do solo things. It's just I didn't know exactly how to plan, how to have a strategy, how to make it work. And I had to learn it by myself because, nowadays it's not like, hey, can you help me doing this? Well, there's no people really okay, let's do your solo project right now. And I'm going to be there every day with you, telling you what to do. So I had to learn, I had to practice on my skills of being also a marketer, being a musician that also takes care of her own business and does this as a professional. you know, because there are so many things to take care of, and you really go crazy with the fact that you have to be the artist, but also your own manager, your own everything. So do it yourself thing, basically. I'm still learning because this is like never ending. With my bands, it was different because I had people thinking about that for me, doing it for me, like managers or the label. So it's different. And how I feel about the fact that it's just me doing this, I feel like finally you made it, because it was there, but I never pushed it until I said, okay, you know what, my fan base is metal, doesn't matter, it's like I have to be who I am, and if they like it, I'm really happy if they like it. If they don't, it means that maybe we weren't a match. So it's like I'm gonna find someone else that is gonna like it, and that's it. That's easy as that. We don't have to worry too much. We don't have time. Life is so short. We don't have time to worry.
It's not what I wanted. City.
And those feelings of that something is building inside of you that needs to come out is definitely one of the themes that we see in the music. Let's talk first about the song City that you just released a video for as well. Maybe I didn't get the metaphor perfectly as you wanted to come, but the way that I interpret some of the images in the music, in the video, is, you know, where that fire that you have inside of you all these years that is now coming out, it's almost like it's being forcefully put in you in the video, and then it's all coming out, and then the titular character in the video, yourself, is taking action, if you will, while we hear lines of, you know, I've been waiting and waiting waiting in the fire, and, you know, this was not what I wanted, or it's not what I thought it would be, and, you know, taking change. Am I interpreting that video correctly, or am I completely off?
I think this is amazing, because you are giving your own vision of it, and this is exactly what I wanted. City, for me, has a different view. I mean, it has a different meaning. Basically, there is a bit more than what it's in my needs and expectation in that song. So City, for me, is the dream of living a life that is based on expectations, and then you build so many expectations that the day the life don't go your way or don't fill up those expectations, you risk to be burned out. So what you do is the ability of being in that moment without freaking out, without falling in depression, or falling in a bad hole, you know, in a black hole, and you just feel it and let it go. So basically, it's the moment where we find out that whatever it comes, we have to take it. We cannot fight against life. You know, so it's a matter of a resilience and also accepting what is coming. And the fact that you all guys have a different view of that is exactly what I like, because even though I have my own opinion even though I know what I'm writing about, the beautiful thing about art is that everybody can see it in a different way, and that's for me a goal that I achieved. Like I left art in there, you know, so it's amazing. I love it. Thank you.
See you walk by.
There are some very dark and heavy materials on this EP, and, you know, said earlier, yes, musically it might be quite different from what we know from your metal bands, but some of those familiar topics come back, you know, that definitely a band like TRISTANIA uses loneliness, abandonment, depression. Maybe throughout the EP, towards the end, more of a glimmer of hope that we feel as well. But yeah, like, it's, again, lyrics like, who am I to climb this fence, as you know, this is not my dance, and stuff like that. Sometimes it's quite on the nose, dealing with that anxiety and depression, or making sure that you take action not to get to that stage. seems to be the #1 theme.
Yeah. Yes. If there's something that really relates me to the themes that Tristania, for example, talks about, or all the material that I've been working on, it's never been happy stuff. But not because I'm a depressed person. It's just because, for me, I feel art a lot into I feel a lot of melancholy, you know, and that's the way I write. That's the way I communicate, and that's the thing that I like to let go, to be out there. So all these songs, yes, they have eventually a glimpse of hope, because they have it.
Yeah.
But exactly because of that, I think that yes, we can actually define my songs not really like the kind of happy mainstream pop, and that's why I defined my music like as melancholic indie pop. That's it. I see it like that. If you want to brand it, I hate to brand it, but I think people would understand better what I'm talking about, right? It's lyrically, I write very simple, but I like to give images. I like to give this kind of freedom for people to interpret, or for people to think about some kind of imagery. I mean, a story, you know, and that's, I think that's actually something that I found with this EP to be my mark. It's like, I write like this. This is my style. This is my way of writing, and it's dark. I cannot say that it's not.
I had to let you go and find a way back home.
There's no double bass drum and heavy guitars necessarily on this album. However, a song like Forgiverance shows that you don't necessarily need those elements to create a very heavy song. I think for me so far, that I think is my favorite song on the EP. I think it's a phenomenal and impressive song. And again, very like on those fours, on the EP, you still go musically quite some different directions as well. So was it important for you to, regardless for the lyrics, to show multiple facets of yourself?
Okay, yes, it's always, because if you expect new music from me later, it will be always different.
Okay.
So I have a lot of creativity in this sense, and I like to show everything, and I like to give different vibes as well. Regarding Forgiverance, it's really, it's truly intriguing, because all the people that I know that really like music and like metal and stuff, they fall in love with Forgiverance. I don't know why. It's the song that I eventually wrote with a lot of feelings. When I wrote it with the piano, and because Daniel Cardoso was the one that took my songs and played them and recorded them, and also helped me in the production. He left my parts on, like the piano thing, and that very kind of how can I say, spooky kind of thing on the piano and in the voice. He loved that, and he told me, we're just gonna keep this like this. And I remember when I was writing the song, you know, I was just doing this with my hands, you know, from one side to another, and I was creating the melody just on the black keys. That's it. And singing the way that I would sing, in the more natural way, without thinking about, I want to sound like that. I want to sound like this. It's just what I'm feeling right now. And the good thing about these songs, they all come from true inspiration. Because what I did during the years, and what I'm doing, every time I have an inspiring moment, I just record it. Okay, I don't let it go. I record it in the phone, I record it whatever I have it. And then that moment, it will be useful later when I want to write something, because he already brings me into the vibe. And then depending on what I'm living at the moment, I write the lyrics following that vibe. That's very important for me, because it's really important that I'm not sitting at the table and say, okay, now I have to write a song. Because in that moment, you don't go that far. I mean, you can create beautiful things. I believe it. I did it. I sometimes it works, but it's mainly when you have your true inspiration that things come naturally. And all these songs have that. And one funny thing, you told me they sound all different. That's true. I also have the demos of those songs that I'm showing to my patrons, and I mean, it's amazing. They are listening the moment when I got inspired. They have my kid crying in the background, you know, and I have myself with the guitar just simply saying like stupid words just to keep the melody. And I keep crying. I think this is unique. We didn't have this possibility to show this stuff to people before. The saddest song of all was Crossing Time. You would never say that. Just in that moment, Daniel told me, we cannot keep them all so heavy. We're gonna give this a different tempo. It's gonna keep like kind of hope.
Yeah, it is almost the most hopeful song of all four. And so it's interesting that was written from the most darkest spot.
Yeah, it's the one that makes me cry when I sing it, because I know what's behind there. And it's heavy to me to do that, but I appreciate, and I'm so grateful for being given this inspiration. It's like, it's exactly what a song should tell, at least from my point of view.
The lyrics of the EP are clearly about dealing with coming into the arena of expectation with Tristania. For me, I have no clue what's going on with Tristania anymore. You've announced on your Instagram a Latin American tour. I don't see any information about that tour on Tristania's website or on Tristania's Instagram. What the hell is going on?
Tristania is, well, when I was talking about the expectations, what not really about my professional life in Israel, but it's Tristania is in a moment where basically there's not Tristania. Some of the band, some part of the band wants to bring it on and wants to do things, and some others maybe are not feeling that motivated. So this can happen, I think, in a story of a band, and it can take time sometimes. We have to respect also the fact that if a person doesn't feel like comfortable doing some things, the others have to wait. We cannot force people. Tristania is a band that is not like that kind of industrial machine, it's like not a band that wants this kind of continue touring and massive sales and stuff like that. It's of course, sales, of course, everybody wants it. But what I'm trying to say is that if it's not working for now, we don't have a problem waiting. We're all busy with our projects. So I have another band as well, and I have my project. Taral has his own project. Ule is playing with Shining from Norway and is Tristania, and Chetil has Green Carnation, which is a very established band, and is with Tristania as well. So we are busy too, and we are creating on the side, because now we cannot get all together. We also live very far from each other, and it's like it makes it heavy. But eventually we are ready to come back, especially starting with this tour next year. We will go to South America. It will be a lot of fun, especially if the pandemic is gone, or will be gone. Anyway, that's just simple as that. Like, this is a moment of silence, But eventually we will be back because I have some things on the way with Tristania that we are talking about. So.
Okay. So you told me, Jasper, let's leave a minute because I have to tell you something very funny.
I've been told from some from some people that my songs are even more sad than Tristania songs.
Well, I think that personal touch that you were talking about is exactly why that is. Because it all of a sudden becomes very real. It's one person with one name on a cover talking about her true feelings and true inspiration, as you say. I think it's a little bit more direct than just And I would say that Forgiverance is almost as heavy as Tristania as well.
It's true. It's like, ooh, let me see, maybe not now.
I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you next time when there's more art to share.
It was a pleasure, Jasper.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.